That was only a few short months ago, and now it's time for A-Day. The Alabama spring game, White versus Clemson from Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, on a gorgeous and sunny 70-degree day. Team referee today, Steve Marlowe, who's an SEC official and the SEC crew, and we are underway here at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. Henry Ruggs to return, and already hear the first whistle of the day. For is the way Tua Tagovailoa played in the national championship game. The Crimson team first, so that is not Jalen Hurts, running back, with the first carry of the day. And Mac Jones here could be important for this team, guys, depending on what happens with Jalen Hurts and
how important this spring is for him. We talk about Jalen Hurts and Tua. Imagine if one guy wins a starting position.
Competitive spirit, and actually throws the ball really well. People don't, he's very underrated. People don't know a lot about him because there's so much focus on the other two. Think about, though, is if we'll talk more about this throughout the broadcast.
You see the catch there made by Major Tennison, the tight end.
One thing to think about. So his dad saying that wasn't necessarily surprising news.
6 here for Mac Jones on this first drive for the Crimson. Brian Robinson Jr. gets the handoff.
Places in the country, and the coaches rave about him when you bring up his name.
Jones here looking to the sidelines. Damien Harris back once again for that Alabama running back core. He'll be the veteran, trying to become the 6th Bama running back with multiple thousand.
Involved in draft coverage as well.
Oh, wow.
I'll be honest, I'm disappointed in Adnan for not mentioning.
He did a year ago. He's put some good weight on with Scott Cochran, the strength coach.
Hurts here buying some time and throws it incomplete. You're right, Herbie. We met with
a leader. He felt like it was my turn to be a leader, and I didn't want to miss out on that opportunity.
Hurts here incomplete. Has 12 tackles in the 26-23 win over Georgia, giving the Crimson Tide its 17th title in school history. Let's go down to Holly Rowe. Speaking of that new look secondary.
Whatever they see on film, some say corner, some say safety. So it's whatever the coaches feel fit, and that's it really.
Are you selling yourself enough? I mean, you're getting in the install for the secondary. What are these young secondary guys going through right now with Coach Saban?
What they doing? They just going through right now.
You mentioned on the NFL draft coverage on Thursday a safety who is so impactful at the college level, and we'll see what he can do. 2nd and 8. Mac Jones has looked good in this drive so far. A 30-yard completion to Kedrick James, the tight end, and there's Ronnie Clark, the running back
against the ones.
Good to know. 3rd and short. Clark's able to push ahead for the first. The ball is spotted at the 30-yard line for kickoffs. On 1st and goal, Mac Jones hands it off to Robinson. Runs out of territory, but then pushes ahead and almost is able to.
But right now, the right side for this Crimson team, Scott Lashley at tackle, they've done a really nice job of opening holes.
And speaking of opening holes, Robinson's able to find one as he punches it in for a touchdown. So the Crimson, on their 2nd drive of the game, make it 6-0. Joseph Belovas with the extra point as Andy Papanastos has moved on a Tuscaloosa. Jones and Kedrick James was the key play. You already hear the whistle on the play. Najee Harris out of the backfield. Harris gets the ball and is able to pick up 4 yards on the play.
You know, watching winning drives late in that game, and Najee Harris a big part of that.
Harris getting the ball again, and you're right, Herbie. All 6 of his carries in that game came in the 4th quarter, including that.
And I think that'll make him very, very complete.
Hurts stepping up.
He is an outstanding talent as a running back.
The White team on 2nd and 14. Hurts this time again going to Najee Harris, and this time shows his pass catching abilities out of the backfield.
And as you look at Jalen Hurts, he needs to take that next step in being able to move this offense when they're put in positions where they have to throw the football.
Yeah,
and that is the difference between guys like Tua, who have the ability to read a defense and throw a ball like he did at the end of the game, versus cover 2. Nobody throws a deep ball versus cover 2. Right. But if you're a quarterback with confidence in your
target isn't available, they'll just pull it down and run. There's Ronnie Clark of the backfield. Speaking of running, picking up a few yards on first down.
Hey guys, I think it's also interesting, physical at all times in the season and out of season. If they would tackle, and other than the black jersey, you're free and you're live. If you don't have, and they're touching each other to avoid injury. At Alabama, they're full go.
See the play there made by what exactly the bad was, and if we can get video of what Herbie may have done just moments ago.
Okay, Joey, that's all you got.
Fair catch here by Trevon Diggs. Great field position at the 44. Instead, the handoff to Damien Harris, the senior running back. Inside. Well done, Joey. Let's see if it happens. Hurts drops back on 2nd and 5. Instead, dumps it off to Damien Harris. He's tackled by number 7, Trevon Diggs. Crimson team versus the white team. So far, the Crimson team up 7-0, but Jalen Hurts and the white team are charging. It's a new coaching staff, a new offensive coordinator. Let's hear from him with Joey.
We had a negative play, so we were trying to make sure we did a good job of. Oh, it's a pick.
You're playing field position in the spring game?
Only right there. But
I mean, they feel like the guys that are back from the injuries, some of the younger players that are coming on. That was Quentin Williams, who, by the way, got the sack on that previous play. Nobody ever talks much about him, and he could be a big, big part of their defense.
Plays in the past. Here's Mac Jones. Completed that to Brian Robinson Jr., who has the one touchdown of this game, and there has a big game past the 30. 19-yard gain there for Robinson.
I like that Mac Jones is decisive, man. He gets back.
Game there to Xavier Marks. Once again, Jones not wasting any time. This time going downfield.
Nice ball.
10 for 67 yards. See if he can compete here on 3rd and 5. Over the middle, he does. Catch made there by Chadarius Townsend. And Townsend breaks the tackle, and he's off. Chadarius Townsend is off to the races for the touchdown. A 65-yard touchdown. Jones to Townsend.
That's how you make a name for yourself as a young receiver. And, you know, they feel pretty good, I think, about their top 3.
But they don't have receiver depth in this game.
Yeah.
Some guys aren't playing. But you're right.
Nothing here early in the 2nd quarter of play. Henry Ruggs, a 3rd to return it. And you see the play is there's Tagovailoas everywhere, Holly. Thank you.
How committed is that family? I mean, Tuscaloosa is beautiful. It's not quite Hawaii.
You see Jalen Hurts there.
1st and 10, he picks up 9 yards. I mean, that's what's great about his game.
For coaches to read, they can see a quarterback throwing the ball and his completion percentage, but the reaction of his teammates to a quarterback.
Yeah.
The starting quarterback.
The intangibles are a huge part of this decision, not just the execution. That's what I think Alabama fans are like daring to dream about.
Damien Harris to the backfield gets a few yards.
Community. He is out building houses with Nick's kids and doing a ton of stuff. People love Jalen Hurts here, so it adds a lot to this competition.
And one of the things they love about
that could be considered a negative. You know, if you're calling a pass play and you have your reads there and the ball is not thrown out, offensive coordinator-wise.
For him to win this job and be able to hold on to it.
Najee Harris, by the way, nice little spin move. Go ahead, Herbie.
The ceiling is much higher throwing the football. And if you're Alabama, you know you're playing the Clemsons of the world in the playoff. They've been in the playoff 4 straight years. They understand that to win those games, to get to the top, to win national championships, you're going to have to be able to throw the football.
Yeah, and the game Holly did itself there in the national championship against a good Georgia defense, they needed the ability to throw, and that's why Tua finally got his chance.
Jalen Hurts play action there. Najee Harris rolling out. And this is exactly what
there's a lot of pressure on Jalen Hurts to prove that he can throw the football. And it'll get him into positions where he takes a sack down in the.
Davis could be one of those. 33-yard attempt here. And the kick is good. So the white team is on the board. 14-3 is the Crimson so far for the Crimson team. Jalen Jackson back to receive. ESPN's Draft Academy.
I'll take Baker Mayfield. I'm a little bit on an island there. I get it, but he's a playmaker. He's accurate. He makes good with the franchise. And then with the 4th pick, you get your quarterback if you're the Browns. That's just me. I know.
And throw the ball. He's as good as I've seen in a long time. Goes down. Maybe throws the best deep ball
if it's clean,
it's toward the end. The guys who have won it have been the Tom Brady's that can stand in the pocket and operate an offense.
I agree, but I'm telling you right now, Baker Mayfield will be the next Drew Brees.
The higher you go,
worse
the
situation.
team is a bad situation for a quarterback to succeed.
And for Cleveland.
You know what I mean?
They can't get
it's just offensively.
Let's watch Jalen here. Let's make a little read from back here up for him. Oh! Little slip
lay out as
we're going to break down MLB and the NHL playoffs in the second half, right?
I'm going to say your Blue Jackets locked up in a good series.
By the way, they're fired after a couple of weeks.
Yeah, not great for Cincinnati.
No, we're going deep here.
Here we go.
Got to get it up in the air.
As crazy as this sounds,
from what I've seen.
And Nick Saban doesn't like his numbers so far either, boys. 5 of 11 for 27 yards so far. Here he tries to buy time in the pocket. Another incomplete.
Especially,
you'd like to see him perform better.
Especially after the way the national championship game ended. And he's...
Fair catch there made at the 18
against Clemson. J.K. Scott has been a weapon for 4 years for Alabama, and his ability to get great field position ahead for Alabama, it looks like.
Mac Jones, Joey's guy, right out of the gate. Unfortunately, cannot.
Second team defensive players.
Defense, number 43. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Remember, we got an entire his best coaching job since he's been at Alabama last year, trying to navigate the waters.
Have that leadership on defense. We don't have those dogs that we've had in the past. And that team went from a long way in replacing all the players that they lose to the NFL.
Oh. Mac Jones there, and that ball is intercepted. Speaking of defense, it's number 21, Jared Maiden. It's Joey, the offense coordinator, Mike Loxley. Yes. Devontae Smith, 5-yard catch.
In a spring football game.
Keep in mind Quentin Williams when it comes to third downs next year for Bama. Joey, you made a comment and said, can it get any better?
Well, Belova's here for the field goal. This attempt 49 yards out. He's 1 for 1 from 33, and he's 2 for 2. And the crowd likes this. The biggest roar here, I think. Jalen Jackson there receiving it. Mac Jones here. Incomplete to number 19. Completion percentage is just 50%, 138 yards, and quick decision making there, especially he goes over the middle to Xavier Martin.
Found a nice soft spot in his zone, and the receiver ran a nice route.
And standing from behind where Mac Jones, from the same angle he was throwing the ball.
Just add that sometimes as a quarterback sitting in that pocket, it's easier to make that throw, the outside throw, the outside read. It's, you know, there's a corner, and he's being able to do that, something that Jalen's not been able to do.
He just looks comfortable. Even last season when we were here during the spring game, we watched Tua, you know, in his first spring game, didn't have the today. Be fun.
Get in there.
And the 48-yard attempt is alongside Holly Roll, Matt Van Vert. Second half coming up, but first, let's go back to the studio. 14-6, Crimson's up. Back with more after this. Damian Harris there getting the carry. Goes for 7-8 yards. Legs are still churning. Well, Kirk Herbstreit play action, rolls to his right. And as this is one.
Secondary has shown me something. Deontay Thompson, number 14 out here, really showing some nice ability. He sinks into his hips, changes directions really well.
Yes, you're absolutely right. A secondary in which they've got their top 6 players all gone from a season ago, and Savion Smith, they do have high expectations. Football starts to matter September 1st against Louisville. On 3rd and 3, Hurts over the middle, completes. That pass to Devontae Smith.
Freshman secondary guys there's a chance they could come in and do the same thing.
Devontae Smith is always going to live in the lore of Alabama football.
To his right, throws a dime, and those are the plays that let you know that he has the talent. arm talent is not an issue for Jalen Hurts.
Reading coverage, decision making, and accuracy. Those are the things that they want to see.
Speaking of that,
the White coaching staff decided to make.
Hurts feels pressure there coming from number 99, Sean Hutchinson, and then goes to
field.
Well, go downfield down here is a tight end typically.
This time Hurts completes the pass over the middle to Derek Keefe.
At Jalen Hurts, and here he comes again on another blitz. Coach has always been, let's play a base defense in the first half, and then he just seems to change things up.
Najee Harris alongside him. And Hurts just calmly lofts it away. Nobody
plug and play with the secondary, but Thompson and Diggs, the only two that have played a lot of ball.
And the fact that Coach was saying that they'll be able to rush the
26-yard attempt. Belova's 2 for 3 so far. He's made it from 33 and 49, and this time he's good from 26. Where those Alabama players are going to be, Minkah Fitzpatrick among those stars. As you see Chris Golden here taking it out of the end zone and stop just shy.
If he's a true number 1 or not, but I watched Calvin Ridley and his ability to get off the line of scrimmage, his ability to run routes. I think he is as smooth as a receivers nowadays put in their work at the line of scrimmage and their releases. And when you watch Calvin Ridley, he's been taught how to play
over that slot receiver. I think he's going to have a top 7, top 8 opportunity. And then Rashaan Evans, who we were talking with earlier today.
Physicality,
yeah,
in the footwork. Man, he's as good as I've seen out there.
And what's crazy about him is he played through injuries most of the year last year. 7 minutes to go in the first period.
But seriously, Louisville, Alabama should be a fun game, right?
2-2, got up to a 2-game lead and then let 2 slip. And now we're back in it. We got to get a win on the road.
Yeah. At home.
Yeah, but seriously, Louisville, Alabama's going to be a blast, right?
Oh, no, it's always, you know what's great about Alabama when it comes to the Alabama, it's better to see Alabama in a game like that than against a 1AA opponent in that first game of the year. Secondary, that you got to just, Bobby Petrino, known as his offensive guy, got to come in there and take your chances, right? You got to come in there and attack them through the air, and what the heck, going up against the schemes of Nick Saban. So it'll be a good matchup week 1. It's always fun.
Look forward to that September 1st. There's Jalen Hurts over the middle.
So number 99, Raekwon Davis, he is going to be a bell cow. 6'7", 306 pounds. He's lost over 10% body fat, according to Scott Cochran. So he's getting in better and better shape. But I'm loving this defense.
Holly Rowe, Kirk Herbstreit, Joey Galloway. I'm Adnan Burr. Crimson lead the way.
Move the ball down. Now you got to come up with a touchdown. You don't want to settle for field goals down here.
Damian Harris with an 8-yard run there.
Keep in mind, guys, that we're focused a lot on.
And again, we're in that red zone area. Been able to get there another time in this half. Has to find a way to get this offense.
With the secondary, but maybe they'll have more of a pass rush this year. Yeah. And the front 7 will be really good. There's Hurts going to the end zone.
Oh.
Off the hands of Devontae.
Give Jalen a chance to be able to execute there. I want to go back real quick to what you said about the defense, because I always brag about how they always have an alphas in the middle that are the leaders of this defense. And with all those defensive numbers, they got some great defensive linemen, but they're gonna need the linebackers, Mack Wilson, to be able to
in big games, and you know that guy's ready to lead your defense.
Yeah, Wilson had that critical interception, Joey, against Clemson. And the game currently down by 2 against the Crimson team, which has been quieted after a good start there from Mac Jones. We'll see what they can provide the rest of this 4th quarter in terms of offense. But don't forget, NFL draft.
Domino, whether they go with Darnold, whether they go with Rosen, no matter who they end up going with there. There's obviously talk about Allen going at 1.
Joey will be there as well, part of our NFL coverage. You see Mac Jones this time dropping back. Briefly, no promo sheet. I'm giving you a verbal mention just to support you. You know what it's like in studio. We take what we get.
We get back by 3 a.m.
No way.
Love of the game, Herbie. Love of the game. All right, we still want to see what Jalen Hurts
really good for the next few years. I talked to a couple of the Alabama players, Damian Harris and Ross Piercebaker, about it, and they said, you know what?
Young players, look forward to see how they're doing in that spring football game coming up next. Alabama fans still want to know what Jalen Hurts can provide. Think about that. For spring football, almost 75,000. And if you believe the way the wind is blowing with them, they want to see 2 under center.
There too.
Yeah, look at Nick Saban's face. That intensity. He's taking this seriously. There's no doubt about it.
They're only down 2 points in the second half. Clemson team has to find a way to put together a nice drive and hold on to the ball and just hold the ball.
You want to see any injuries for these guys.
Keep that clock running, man.
First and 10.
You're in charge of the clock, right? As an official helping out with the Crimson Tide, great man. He's in charge of the clock, so if there's any problems, we point to him.
Good to know we got a fall, guys. By the way, Caps have tied it up 1-1. Joey Galloway and Holly Rowe. I'm Adnan Virk. Let's send it to Bob Wischusen and Tide. Up 14-12 against the white team with just about 6.5 to go. Jones on 3rd and 8. Buys time. Can he get there? No, not quite. Holly?
Sideline, I've been impressed with what I've seen so far.
A young man who knows you want to do this for a while, Holly, and clearly now has the big ticket. We know how involved Nick Saban is trying to get a touchdown here for this white team. Down by 2 with 5:20 to go. He'll air it out. And number 6, Devontae Smith, makes the catch in double coverage.
Went versus 2 defensive backs, makes a nice throw and a big completion for not only his confidence, but for the white team. Only down 2 at this stage. Maybe they try to run the clock out and kick a field goal.
Corners this year for Alabama.
That was a situation where the coverage dictated that pass route would not be open, but Jalen Hurts
up in the air and try to throw it at way out in front of the receiver. Let him run underneath and get after that quarterback this year for the Tide.
Hurts with plenty of time steps up. You see the catch over the middle made to Irv Smith, the tight end.
Those have never stayed the same as they begin the game with. In the 3 years we've come here, there's always been changes as the game goes along, from no blitzing to running clock to stop the clock.
He missed it, so as far as
I like it.
All right, I like the attitude.
Mac Jones over the middle. Completes that pass to Xavier Marks.
Tempo and get after it like they're getting their practice in for 2 minutes. I like it.
Jones, back-to-back plays, able to make completions that time. Bragging rights on the line. Along with the winners getting steak and the loser getting frank and beans.
Yes. Run the win.
Brian Robinson.
They're going fast tempo in a situation when they're up 2 with 3 minutes left, and he is standing in the pocket like he is a veteran.
And Jones certainly has a lot of chemistry.
Mac Wilson.
Mac Wilson going to throw the ball.
Nice.
Back over here.
The linebacker, Mac Wilson, wants to show off his arm. He can do it all, this young man. Why not let him run? He's going to win this thing.
Caution to the wind, baby.
Yeah. Jones this time in the slant to Ronnie Clark. Oh, Ronnie Clark of the backfield.
Maybe won't be seeing much action in the fall. There's a tendency to want to protect players, but here they don't do that. They attack. They attack almost every game on their schedule.
I'm with you. Bulovas from 48 yards out. Well, I tell you what, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Devontae Smith receiving. Hurts, one last gasp, immediately feels pressure and takes off using his legs. Tua Tagovailoa's got that wow factor, and so people want to see what Hurts can provide today as that pass is batted down. Hurts going over the middle. That pass, though, broken up.
Touchdown for the white team, a little behind the receiver.
Bragging rights.
3rd and 10. What will Jalen Hurts provide? Immediately passes, but that's not going to be nearly enough for a first down. And on 4th and 5, a very unimpressive pass. Mac Jones, one last blast, going deep. Yes, Xavier Marks for the touchdown. The return of the Mac. We see the pocket presence of Mac Jones, the way he's able to step up, and Mark's able to create just enough separation there from Michael Collins. And Jones with a big grin for the touchdown. And with the extra point, Crimson doubling up the white team.
He has to. I mean, you got to go. You got to go Mayday tempo with 4 minutes left. You make
I got you.
Up or down.
I got you.
Up or down.
Seen the practices leading up. We've not seen the entire body of work in the spring. If you just take this game alone, you don't feel great about what you saw.
And this time the interception made by Trayvon Diggs. Expected to be one of the starting corners for Alabama. He makes a nice play there. And with one last handoff here to Ronnie Clark, that'll do it. Alabama spring football is in the books as the Crimson team beats the white team 24-12 is the final. Mac Jones looked awfully good for the triumphant team. Jalen Hurts better in the second half, but wasn't great overall. Let's go down to Holly Rowe.